Hello, this is Jacob Steiner. I'm a chemistry student at Doane College. Today we're going to do our interactive presentation for week 6, and for this presentation we're going to be essentially making a rocket noodle. So for this experiment we'll need hydrogen peroxide, active dry yeast, some noodles that can stand up on a mason jar and a lid with a small hole poked in the top, a tablespoon, and our lighter. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put an excess of the hydrogen peroxide in our jar. Then we're going to take 1 tablespoon of our yeast. This next part you have to move kind of quickly on. So we will add our yeast. We will put our jar on top and create the seal the best we can. Give it a little bit of a shake, kind of activate it. We're going to set our noodle right on top of that little area on top there. And then we're going to light the whole thing on fire. See that if I let go of pressure on there, it will deactivate and reactivate. But if we allow the pressure to only go out the top of the noodle, there's going to be a bunch of oxygen that's going to be released out of the noodle, and it's going to cause this kind of jet flame that we're seeing. So essentially what's going on in there is we have our hydrogen peroxide, which is H2O2, and then our yeast, which is an organic compound of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and sulfur. Once the yeast is getting activated by the hydrogen peroxide, it's breaking apart the bond that's holding the oxygen in place and converting the hydrogen peroxide into water and pure oxygen. So what we're doing is we're lighting the noodle on fire, and that's as our fuel source. And then with any fire, you need a spark ignition and a fuel. And the oxygen that's going through the noodle, its only place to escape is creating perfect conditions to push a bunch of oxygen up through that noodle, kind of creating our jet effect that we're seeing with that. And it's kind of similar to what rockets do, they just do it with better fuel and a lot bigger areas. Thank you.